What's up guys, Shane here from House of Cards TCG, and I'm coming to you with a new style of video that we're testing out, how to beat Swordsoul Tenyi. I was just crushing Tyler with this deck, left and right.
Oh, chill!
He begged me to make this video on how to beat it so he could figure out how to stop losing. So we put together, I'm going to go through all the different combos, and then we have a huge lineup of hand traps, and we're going to show you what's the best place to hand trap this deck to put you in the best position going second. And we also have some good going first cards against the deck. It's a super strong deck, in my opinion, the best deck of the format. It's so versatile going first and second, and just does so much. The Tenyi cards are just so underrated. So yeah, we're going to show you how to beat this deck. So let us know what you think down below, and make sure to like and subscribe.
And stay tuned till the end. We have a controversial question for you that we need help answered.
Yep. Jump into it. Rearrange the top 3 cards. Have you seen that?
No, what was that?
Don't worry about that. I'll show you.
I'm telling you, Mystic Mind Exodia is the best. You think Mystic Mind Burn is?
Yes.
Mystic Mind Burn? Alright, we're gonna have a Mystic Mind matchup. Let's see
Doesn't
who
work
wins
in the
first.
mirror. I'll win in the mirror for sure.
No, you won't. I'll draw all 5 pieces of Exodia in one turn.
You're cheating.
I'll play 3 of each.
You can't.
I'm just kidding. Alright. I think I'm set up. You ready?
Alright, so we'll start off really simple. So if I normal summon, activate Moyi, and you reveal for cost. So keep that in mind, it's cost. So don't jump the gun and imperm Veiler. Make them reveal because you want that knowledge. So then I reveal. At this point, you're going to want to activate imperm or Veiler. These are the 2 most high impact. Imperm or Veiler, stop this. I can't bring out a token. So you want to activate imperm Veiler. It's at this point, Gamma is also big. Ogre is also big. Other than that, there's nothing to do at this point. So these 4 hand traps, really high impact. If you activate the Ogre, I still bring out the token, but it pops the Moyi, which is big. So those are the hand traps you want to do against the Moyi. Those are pretty obvious. The other thing to do, if I normal summon the Moyi, activate the effect, reveal for cost, bring out the token. On res of that, you can bring out Token Collector, which destroys the token, and neither player can summon tokens. So that's pretty good. Most Swordsoul players play Chalice, Droplets, that kind of thing. Outs for Token Collector. And I'm not seeing Token Collector in a lot of side decks because there's just more generic cards that hit more decks that are really high impact as well. So let's go on to if they normal summon the Ecclesia, or even effect especially the Ecclesia if you control a monster, and then they activate the effect which tributes for cost to special from the deck. So at this point you can Ash them. You could also Gamma that. So Ash or Gamma there. Keep in mind either one, you're opening yourself up to a Gamma if they play it. So that's something to keep in mind there. And then if they activate the long wand effect, pitching for cost, this is a hand effect. The only thing you can really do here is Gamma that. And if you have Gamma and they open with this, you want to Gamma here. If you don't Gamma here, they bring out the long wand, which brings out the token, and they go immediately. Tokens don't go to the graveyard, but they go immediately into the Baron, which is an Omni negate, and at this point, your Gamma isn't going to do anything.
So pretty much the only Synchro 10 that you play are the 2, right? Which is the not Chao Feng, but the big guy.
Ruddy Rose, Ching, and then this is a 9.
Yeah. But going first, you're always, if you see...
You almost always go for Baron.
That's what I said.
It's an Omni negate.
Yeah.
So if they start with this, if you have Gamma, you either use it or you you hold it because it's dead after that. So let's see what else. Against this deck, Droll isn't that good. So you want to Droll, like if they start with Desires. If they start with Desires, it's maybe good to Droll. Because it kind of shuts off their play with Moyi, being able to draw, add. Other than that, they don't add a ton. So I wouldn't be siding in Droll. It's okay. There's just more high impact cards. Crow is only good when we start with the Tenyi cards. So if I start with an Ashina and I special the Ashina and then I link it off into the Monk. At this point you can Crow away the Ashina before I try to banish it to special another one from the deck. It's just not that good. I wouldn't side in Crow. It stops, some of the plays, but these aren't your main plays. Like, this is good, but it doesn't do anything against your Swordsoul engine. Let's see, what else do we have? Lancia is okay. If you have Lancia, you want to use it in standby phase. If you don't, then they're gonna, the deck plays Desires. So if you wait till main phase and they start with Desires, your Lancia has just done a lot less than it would have. So if you have Lancia, you want to use it early. It blocks off the Tenyi plays because they have to banish for cost, and if they can't activate. So this one specials one from deck. Ashina, that's Ashina. The Vashuna, if I can find it. That one you banish to bounce a card from your opponent's field to their hand. At Hara, you banish it from graveyard to add a banished worm back to hand. So Lancia shuts those off. The problem is that it doesn't shut off any of your Swordsoul plays. So you can still go full Swordsoul combo and not really even worry about this. So it's just kind of it doesn't do enough, in my opinion. Let's see, there's really, can't think of anything really to, the only thing you could really bell would be like the Summit. Bell just doesn't do a lot. The Tenyi is banished for cost, so you're gonna dodge, you're not gonna be able to bell that. So that's really it.
So don't play Bell.
Bell's not good.
And then I have here Nib, and I just kind of paired that with a Veiler Imperm, because if you open like those two, wait till the end combo.
Nib itself is good, so let's go over where to Nib.
Why don't you just do your combo, maybe draw 5.
Yeah, so normal Moyi effect. We'll just go ahead and reveal the Adhara, bring out a token, and then we go into Synchro 8.
So this is now summon 3.
This one searches. So Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, this one draws, not that it matters, but draw there.
Unless you draw Ecclesia.
And then you search the long one, and you activate the long one, pitching to bring out a token. And this is where you nib. You have to nib here. If you don't nib here again, they just bring out the Baron, which is an Omni negate, which would just negate nib. So this is where you nib, and it puts them in a tough spot.
So I was thinking too, if they start with the Long Young first, then they get the Baron out. Don't imperm yet. Save it if you have imperm nib, because then you can wait for them to go full combo, imperm the Baron, waste a negate or whatever, and then nib their board. So.
Yep. So that would be a good combo as well.
Or Veiler or any of those.
Yep. And then side deck cards. This one is really, really good. You side in going first, and then you declare, obviously, Synchro. Anti-spell is okay. A lot of the cards will side deck, will be spells. The problem is the deck doesn't need spells, so anti-spell is okay. It's not great. Judgment would probably be better, just because it negates anything. But a monster effect, obviously. So anti-spell is okay. It stops, probably a lot of the side deck cards too.
Could you go just draw 5, go through a full combo, and we'll just kind of look at points that would be really good to hit, and based on what you open, maybe some things that you should pick up on if you're playing against Swordsoul based on their opening.
Yep. Let's give this a good shuffle.
You've been playing this since it came out, right?
Yeah. Yep. Not the Tenyi version.
You're on DPE for a
fairly
while.
new to that one. I just like DPE as a card, even though the deck is just not as good as this one. But DPE is fun. But this Tenyi build is just a lot. It's objectively stronger.
Well, because they can just stop you going second and then OTK you on the back turn. And it's like,
and play Handtraps to stop you going first, and then it's just so easy to OTK.
yep. Backseat as a card.
Backseat is a really good card. Okay, so let's cut. And then draw 5.
I'm gonna try to help too on this side, just from what I see.
Sure. Long 1, Gamma, Ash, and 2.
Oh, you didn't even have to show me.
Yeah. So this hand, you can't even play.
You can't play. Long Young has nothing.
Right, can't play.
So Handtraps on this one, just go OTK. Well, but then on the crackback though, you have Gamma and Ash, right?
If you top deck, so I did top deck a playable card.
So let's just say you Gamma, then you Ash because you stopped me, right?
Yep.
So it's not the end of the world. I'm not OTKing you through Gamma and Ash. It's just facts.
Yep.
What deck's gonna do that, right?
Not many.
Yeah.
So here what you would do is you would activate the long 1 effect and pitch that for cost.
And the reason why you
It
did Long
activates in
Young,
hand.
because it activates in hand, so you can't imperm, you can't Veiler.
Yep, the only thing you could do is Gamma here.
Yep, so Gamma is like literally the only hand trap you can do there. And then they're gonna go ahead, and this, so a lot of people forget, is that the token effect activates in hand too. So you once it hits the field, you can't imperm, you can't Veiler.
Yep,
the
it's all
token
hand effect.
is all in the hand, so that you can't stop the token from coming out unless you stop it in the hand.
Yep, so then from there,
You have your Baron.
go into Baron, and then that's pretty much it based on this hand.
Yeah.
These aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
But I burn you for 12, have an Omni negate, attack for 3. So pretty good.
You draw 5 more, maybe get a better hand.
Let's see if I can get a better hand. Do a quick power shuffle.
Yeah, obviously you and I, we played against a lot of Swordsoul. We know the deck. We play a lot of meta. Well, play against a lot of meta. You do a lot of live duels. I do a ton of DB duels. So it's like a good pairing because you see it at the locals. I see it online a lot. Everybody's on Swordsoul.
Yeah, it's a good deck. It's probably the most represented right now.
For sure, 100%.
Bird Up might be close. Invoked is really good.
I'm waiting to see if Swordsoul goes down after the Grand Creators come out.
Oh, is that where the Brave tokens come from? Yeah.
So I'm just like I'm wondering if it's if the Swordsoul representation will go down based on that.
I think it will, because the Brave tokens is a really good engine. There's going to be like prank kids that can take advantage of it. There's going to be obviously PK.
And it puts an Omni negate, so even like we just said, Long Young effect. Okay, well I'll just send it to Grave.
Negate, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's draw 5.
Alright, see if we can get a better hand. Go through the combo here. And you don't even have to show the hand, so we can just talk about like what you see, right?
Sure.
Is your hand better?
Yeah, this is better.
Okay.
So, to start here, I'd probably go the Shuda effect. It activates in hand. Specials because I control no monsters.
So that instantly reads like that. So just because you're using the effect of a Shuda to special summon, that does not mean that you don't have a Swordsoul in your hand.
Right.
It's just a free special summon is essentially what you're doing here.
Yep.
So any hand trap on the summon here, but you can't because it's.
Yeah, you could Gamma this in hand. It just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, because you're just gonna go into the link 1 after that, right?
Yep. So then you just want this in the grave just because it impacts in the grave. It doesn't do anything on the field or in hand.
The effective bounce is only on your turn, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So I don't have to worry about this on my turn, but.
Nope. And then from there, I would normal summon the Moyi, activate the effect on summon, reveal Vashuda to bring out token. So it's at this point you want to Veiler, Imperm, or Gamma.
Because you used your normal summon, you revealed a Vashuda, you didn't reveal another Swordsoul, so we gotta assume maybe you obviously don't have a Desires, but you could have a couple hand traps, you could have a couple spells, you could have an Emergence. So you probably save your Ash. Not that there's a point to use it yet, but this is where you want to kind of imperm Veiler, hit that Moyi, and stop the token, right?
Yep, and let's say you don't. So if you don't, it brings out a token.
And we know that you're going for the Synchro 8, which is just a monster effect negate on field.
Yep, and if you have Token Collector, this is where you want to activate it.
Yeah.
So it would do that, and in this case, it would end my turn.
So here's the problem with I've found with Token Collector, right? Is that you're also playing cards that negate Token Collector. So like, you know what I mean? You got to be careful with Token Collector. Obviously with Droll, he hasn't even searched yet, so he's going with his combo and Droll.
Yep, and this is basically explaining why Droll isn't good either, because if you aren't able to stop this and I go into my Synchro 8, it goes, you can do these either way, but the best way is Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. And so Chain Link 2 draws 1, Chain Link 1 searches. And then on the resolution of that, you can Droll. But I've just searched twice, and that's basically all the searching I'm going to do.
Okay.
So.
And then here's my thought, and you can kind of give up on it or go from here. I would not nib at this point, which is what actually like what I was gonna say here.
Right, you definitely want to wait to see.
Yeah, don't shotgun nib, because right now they can't negate nib unless they go and you see that they put on a token with a level 6. It's at that point you want to nib, but definitely just because he's summoned 5 times here, don't shotgun your nib.
Yep.
Also keep in mind you can't nib if you Token Collector.
Yep.
Just keep that in mind. All right.
So then from there, I would activate the long one, pitching the
Vishuda.
second Vishuda.
Yep, which we already know.
Yep, and that brings out another token.
Yep. So right here, this is where you would
And
nib.
that's where you nib. Yep.
And then in my opinion, let's say you have a Veiler or a impermanent hand with a nib, I wouldn't even nib here. I wait for them to commit a little bit more, and I'll explain why. All right, go ahead.
Then they go into the Baron and then effect to burn you.
Yep. So you take 1200.
Yep. And then with this hand, I would set 2 and then pass.
Yeah. So with an imperm Veiler, basically your obviously Veiler can only be used on your opponent's main phase, but with imperm, there's no sense in holding this and waiting for your turn to activate imperm to negate Baron to push that along. I would wait until their turn is over, because they only put up 1 Omni negate. Every time there's only 1 Omni negate. Before you flip those, just hang on. So at this point, I would definitely, if you're paired up like this, I would wait till the end of their combo, imperm Veiler, the Baron, and then drop nib on their whole entire board. The reason why that's really important is because a card called Blackout, which requires them to have a worm monster, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And is one of those Blackout?
No.
It's not. Okay.
No.
But say it were, nibbing the entire board, you shut off a...
So actually with these cards, I'd be pretty just comfortable.
Yeah, okay. Well, you just happen to open up Imperial Order Imperm, right? But with Blackout, though, if one of those were Blackout and you nib the entire board, you've now turned off their Omni Negate, you've turned off their Monster on Field Negate, and potentially a back row card. So, like I said, if you can get Imperm Veiler with a nib, this is like ultimate Crush Swordsoul hand. So,
Yep.
And if you're playing Eldlich back row, the IO doesn't even hurt you. If you're playing Dragon Link, GG's.
Yeah, and even if you have, if you have these 2 and so let's say you have these 3, I think you still want to imperm or Veiler the Moyi, because you want to stop them from drawing 1 and searching 1. And if they are somehow able to still extend, at that point you can nib. But these cards are just so good, I wouldn't hold them if I was playing against Swordsoul, because I don't want this resolving and I don't want this resolving.
Okay, so you would actually still imperm the Moyi, wait for the Long Young, and then nib over their board before Baron comes out.
I would, because these are so huge. Like, these cards are what makes the engine so strong, being able to draw 1 and search 1.
Right.
I would stop that.
But
having 1 Omni Negate isn't going to win me the game.
So let me ask you this. So on your search, so the search is pretty much outweighed because you searched Long Young, okay?
Yep.
So we already used the Long Young. We're able to get rid of him, and he's gone, okay? So then the draw, what did you draw off your Moyi?
I drew a Gamma.
Okay, so you drew Gamma, which could be a lot. It's pretty much dead card with the token.
It's dead, yeah.
So I guess the reason why I'm asking is, I guess
Well, let's just run through it one more time and say that you have all three. Well, it doesn't even need to be three. Let's just say you open these two hand traps.
Yeah, imperm nib.
And you're going against this hand. So let's put these back. We'll test it both ways to see which way. Yeah. So I drew that.
So I opened imperm nib. So is it worth it to hold it or to go ahead and use it?
And this was my opening hand.
Okay. You can draw another 5 hands and see if it still.
Oh no, this is good. So I mean, normal effect. Let's go my way first. So I would imperm that.
Okay. So if we go ahead, imperm shotgun, imperm the Moyi.
With this hand.
But you actually Vashooted first.
Yeah. So let's say I Vashooted.
Yep.
So Vashoot is here.
And you have the link 1. Well, of course, this hand right now is terrible. So.
Yep. So the only thing I could do would be to go into the shaman.
So you 1, 2, 3. This is summon 4.
So go into the shaman, and then kind of pass on that. So I mean, obviously I would set IO, set imperm.
So Nib is dead in hand.
Nib's dead.
Yep.
With this hand, there's nothing else I can do.
Okay, and then shuffle your deck, and then let's see what your top deck is.
Long one.
So now you can go Long Young into Baron, and then completely crack my board.
What do you mean?
Because you have the Shaman, which means that I can't attack into this card. Oh, you don't control. Well,
Oh no, you can.
yeah. And then you have an Imperm to stop me. So if it goes into your turn, you top deck Long Young. You still have a Vashuda to bounce a card. And then you go Long Young, discard another Vashuda. Then bring out Baron, right?
Yep.
So then you're like still playing versus.
As if you didn't set up any kind of negates or anything.
Right. So I guess that's the question. Like, and the difference is if I wait for you to go full combo, because you only put up one Omni negate, you could search out Blackout potentially because you think that you would want another interruption.
I would have more hand advantage.
Yeah, but then you're gonna use your Baron. You can't reuse Baron. I've already now busted that. You've burned through your Long Young. I've burned through some of your resources in the deck, and on top of it, I have a 3,000 body on the field.
Okay, so let's go through that with the same hand. So this is what.
So you top decked a Long Young there.
Let's just play it out both ways. So.
And of course, leave your comment down below what you think. If you open Imperm Nib, are you letting Swordsoul full combo and then Imperm Nibbing, or are you still Imperming or Valoring the very first one? So.
Yep. So the first thing I did was shoot it.
Yeah.
And then I normal here, and you're just gonna let that go.
I'm gonna let that resolve.
So I'm gonna reveal.
So you've revealed to me that you have Vashuda.
Bring out the token. And I'm gonna turn these into the Synchro 8.
Yep.
I do chain link 1, chain link 2.
Yep.
So let's shuffle this.
And you don't know I have this, so you're definitely going Long Young here.
Oh yeah, yep. So draw one, drew a Heavenly Dragon Circle. And then I'm gonna add the long one, obviously.
Yep. You're gonna pitch
So then we
Vashuda.
activate that.
Yep. Bring out Long Young. That brings out a token.
Long one and token. And then turn those into the Baron.
Yep. I'm not using this yet. I'm gonna wait to see what your next play is.
Yep, so then I would
And then
set 3
you're gonna attempt to leave the main phase.
and end. I would have burned for 12 as well.
Yep. So you would burn me for 12. Now I go ahead and
So you're doing
activate
this in the end of my main phase?
I guess I could do it in phase. No, it'd have to be during the main phase.
Yep.
So yeah, you'd have to activate Nib in the main
And
phase.
had I held this in hand, this would actually come up against Nib.
Yeah, but like I'm waiting till the end of the main phase. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you're probably
Yeah, probably gonna set it.
yeah. So now I'm gonna go ahead and activate Nib,
Yep, so I negate.
and then I drop Imperm to negate
Yep.
that. And I tribute your board,
So then my board would be tributed.
and I have a 3,000 body on the field. Okay.
I would have this.
So this card's dead. You still have those other 2 cards anyway.
Yep.
All right. Now on turn, so I have a 3,000 body. This is getting beat over, busted, whatever, right? Not beat over because it's probably got a ton of defense, but
Yeah, it's got 38 defense.
yeah. But access code, whatever. I'm probably OTKing you. I have two interruptions. Okay. Now what's your top deck?
Moyi.
Moyi. So pretty good. Not gonna lie. That's a good top deck. But we probably are gonna set up an interruption.
Well, keep in mind, now that I have the token, now my Vishuda is allowed to bounce something on your field too. So
That's
I have
true.
a token, so I banish and I force out something.
That's true. That's a good point. But on your turn, so I probably set up a couple negates depending on what deck I'm playing, right? So now I just have to stop a Moyi and a Vishuda. I don't know. It's pretty interesting, right? I guess.
And actually, this was pretty good top deck.
that was a really good top
I
deck.
can't activate the effect because I don't have anything in hand.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I can tribute it with this
Yep.
and then add a worm monster.
So what would you add?
So there's a couple good options. So like, I could add the Ashina because I could special it, link into Tenyi, and then link and then activate the effect to bring out a Tenyi. Or I could go into a Protos even.
Yeah.
It's just search, and I obviously have 3 different attributes. So Protos could be huge.
Well, you would like to think though, that like on my turn, if I'm dropping Nib at the end, I have cards to play, right?
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna. It would give me an opportunity to OTK you or set up
Yeah.
a board at least.
Yeah, and most decks can't OTK through this.
You're right. I guess it all depends on what you're playing, but why don't you guys leave a comment down below and tell us what you think. Do you
It's interesting.
do you imperm shotgun the imperm and then wait for the nib, or do you go ahead and wait till the end of their combo to go ahead and imperm nib? And who knows, I might actually start a poll on that.
Yeah, start a poll. That's actually good.
And see what people think about it. So, well, that has kind of been like a how to beat Swordsoul Tenyi. So we kind of went through some hand traps. I hope this was informational for you guys. Let's go ahead and chain in. Here's facts right here. That's it. That's all you need.
That card does it. That's all you need. But guys, thanks for watching, and Shane and Tyler from House of Cards TCG signing out.